We live in an era where if a moment wasn't captured, cropped, and uploaded, society acts as if it never happened. We are told that visibility is validity, that to be unseen is to be forgotten. We are engineered to believe that our joy requires a digital witness and that our milestones demand a public receipt. But if you think the people who stay off the feeds are hiding out of insecurity, you should think again. The truth is far more profound. The most psychologically grounded minds in a hyper-connected world are often the ones who choose to remain completely invisible on the timeline.
The first psychological pillar of those who choose not to post is a rare quality in the modern age: complete independence from external validation. Most people do not realize that every post is a subconscious request for permission. Permission to feel happy, permission to feel successful, permission to feel attractive. When someone posts a photo of a milestone, a vacation, or a simple moment of joy, they are handing the keys to their emotional stability over to a crowd of strangers and acquaintances. But the unposted mind operates under a completely different framework. These individuals do not need a digital receipt to prove their life has value. They validate themselves in private. When they experience a breathtaking sunset, a breakthrough in their career, or a beautiful moment with a loved one, they absorb the experience directly into their identity.
The second pillar is the intentional rejection of the staged identity. Social media demands that you become a marketer of your own existence. It forces you to look at your life not as a series of lived experiences, but as content to be edited, filtered, and optimized. People who don't post refuse to participate in this psychological distortion. They understand that when you constantly frame your life for an audience, you stop living your life and you start performing it. You begin to choose restaurants based on the lighting rather than the food. You choose experiences based on how they will look on a grid rather than how they will shape your soul. By choosing to remain unseen, they build a fortress around their true identity. Their self-worth is anchored in their actual reality.
The third psychological pillar is the understanding that true mastery requires undivided attention. In a culture obsessed with visibility, silence is frequently mistaken for absence. When someone disappears from the social feeds, the collective assumption is that they have fallen behind, or that nothing significant is happening in their life. But for the grounded mind, silence is where the actual execution happens. They are not off the grid because they are lost. They are off the grid because they are building. They are engineering their businesses, mastering their crafts, upgrading their physical health, and restructuring their minds. They choose the dark room over the spotlight because they know that deep work cannot survive constant interruption. Every time you post an unfinished goal or a half-baked milestone, you leak the psychological energy required to actually complete it. You receive a cheap, premature hit of validation from a stranger's double tap, which tricks your brain into thinking the work is already done.
The fourth pillar is a strategic defensive boundary. The conscious choice to be a lone wolf by choice, not out of antisocial fear, but out of absolute wisdom. Your attention is your most sacred currency. Every time you open a feed and post your image, you are handing thousands of people direct access to your emotional nervous system. You invite their opinions, their envy, their projections, and their passive judgments into your mental space. The unposted mind recognizes the immense cost of this constant accessibility. They are intentionally exclusive. They understand that being unseen is a form of psychological armor. They don't want to be accessible to everyone, only to the selective few who have earned a place in their physical reality. they move in silence.
Look at the grand tapestry of human behavior. A striking truth emerges. The ultimate measure of your personal power is not how many people know your name, look at your photos, or envy your lifestyle. The ultimate measure of power is how much you enjoy your life when absolutely nobody is watching. You do not need to broadcast your joy to make it real. You do not need to market your progress to make it significant. And you certainly do not need the passive approval of digital bystanders to validate the beautiful, complex reality of your existence. True confidence doesn't need a crowd. It is a quiet fortress built in the spaces where the cameras never look. So look at the screens around you. Recognize the illusion.